For the longest time, your Gmail address has been one of those things that's just permanent. A digital nameplate you picked out ages ago and then were stuck with. But what if you could finally hit the undo button on that? Well, it looks like that day is finally here.
Does this feel a little too real? You're trying to be a professional, right? Applying for a job, networking, but you're still kind of haunted by that email address you created way back when. Maybe a little too far back.
Yeah, maybe something like this. I mean, look, Dragon Slayer 98 was probably the coolest thing ever in high school, but it doesn't exactly scream I'm a serious candidate on a resume, does it? It's like this digital tattoo a lot of us have secretly wanted to get removed.
And that really gets to the heart of a problem that millions, and I mean millions of people have had. Your email address has basically been this permanent brand for your online life, and you couldn't change it without just blowing everything up and starting over.
And what's wild is how terrible the old fix was. It was a complete nightmare. You had to make a whole new account, then try to manually drag all your important stuff over, your emails, your photos, your contacts, all while praying you didn't lose something crucial. All anybody ever wanted was simple. Just let me change the address and let me keep my stuff.
Well, it looks like after all these years of waiting, Google is finally delivering. A new feature has been quietly rolled out that does exactly that. It lets you change your address without having to nuke your entire account.
And the sense of relief is so real that one report actually called this a Christmas gift for Gmail users. I mean, that tells you everything you need to know about how big a deal this is for anyone who's ever cringed while spelling out their email.
So, you'd think a huge, game-changing feature like this would get a massive announcement, right? A big blog post, maybe a flashy press release? Not even close.
The way we actually found out about this was because some really sharp-eyed users spotted it on a Google support page. And get this, not even the main one. It was on the Hindi language version of the page. That definitely points to a very quiet, very slow rollout.
And that gradual rollout part is really the key thing to know right now. The page says it's coming to everybody, so if you go check your account today and you don't see the option yet, don't worry. Full global adoption is on its way. It's just going to take a little time.
Okay, so how in the world is Google pulling this off without breaking literally everything tied to your account? Well, the genius is all in how they handle your old address, making sure your digital life stays perfectly in one piece. The magic word you need to know is alias. See, when you change your address, your old one doesn't just disappear into thin air. It automatically becomes an alias. And what that means is any email sent to that old address will still show up safe and sound in your new inbox. No lost messages, no broken contacts.
The whole process is incredibly smooth. So someone sends an email to, let's say, Dragon Slayer 98. Behind the scenes, Google's system just automatically reroutes it and poof, it lands right in your new, much more professional inbox. For you and for them, it's totally seamless.
So what exactly do you get to keep? Well, basically everything that matters. All your emails and messages are safe, your entire Google Photos library, all your files in Drive, your history on Maps and YouTube, it's all there. You can even keep using your old address to sign into other websites you've linked it to. It's awesome.
All right, but as with any cool new power, there are a few rules. So before you get too excited and rush to change your address, let's go over the important fine print that you absolutely have to know.
So here's the deal. On the what you can do side, you get to keep your old address as that alias, you keep all your data, and you can even reuse that old address later if you want. But, and this is a big but, on the what you can't do side, you can't change your address again for a whole year. And you can't just delete the new one you've picked.
And yeah, that is the single most important rule to burn into your brain. Once you pull the trigger on a new address, you are locked in for at least one full year. So, choose wisely. This is not something you can just flip-flop on every other week.
So, what's the big picture here? When you step back and look at it, this is way more than just a little convenience feature. It's really a fundamental shift toward a more flexible, user-controlled digital identity.
So let's just boil this down. First, this is a massive upgrade for your personal and professional brand. No more cringy emails and no more risky data transfers to fix it. Second, this is a huge deal because it changes how Google thinks about your core identity, giving you more control. And for right now, the bottom line is keep an eye on your account settings because this feature is coming. For the first time, your core digital identity, that nameplate you've had for years, is about to become editable. It's not set in stone anymore, which really just leaves one big, final question for you to think about. What will you change yours to?